Good morning, and thank you for coming to today's service. Today's service is the Half-Year Purification Appreciation Service, as well as the 18th Memorial Service for the late Reverend Norikazu Yukawa, who is the founding minister of the Konkō Church of San Diego. If you have not done so, in the description portion of the YouTube channel, there's two links. One link should be for the today's order. Well, there's a whole bunch of links. So if you read Japanese, you'll know which one to go to. If you read English, you'll know which one to go to. But there's a link for the service order for today. In the service order, there's a service order in there. So if you have that on a separate screen, you'll know what order we're going to be praying in. It's written in both English and Japanese. And then also, what else is there? There's also links there's special prayers. So if you haven't downloaded the prayer, you can download there's links to those individual prayers. Let me take your one thing really quickly, and I'll be right back to light the candles for today's service. Anyway, so if you have the service order, please go to the service order. The prayer for the coronavirus is there. The Amatsu Norito is there. And there's also a special prayer that we're going to use only once a year, and it's for Yukawa Sensei's service. That's also listed in there as well. So please go there. Also in the order description, if you have not done so, there is the survey monkey there. As I shared before, I would love to be able to write in the names of those who attended today's service. So please do not hesitate to fill that in, who attended and where you're from, so that I can put your names into the prayer notebook as people who have attended today's service. So with that, let us begin today's half-year appreciation purification service, as well as Reverend Yukawa's 18th memorial. So if you have the prayer of sincere toritsugi, please take that out. There should be a link. If you have the service order, there should be a link to that as well, so it can just pop out easily for you. Let us begin. Prayer of sincere toritsugi. I am a Konkō Kyo believer. I believe in Igiyami Konkō Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami. I have come today to practice my faith, appreciate and acknowledge the blessings, favors, and interventions of Tenchi Kane no Kami, honor the ancestors, and learn more about the faith of Konkō Daijin. As I learn more about the heart of Tenchi Kane no Kami, I nurture the faith of my spiritual family. Thus, I boldly confess that my mind is alert, my heart is receptive, and I will never be the same as long as I practice the faith and receive toritsugi. Kigami Konkō Daijin sama, Tenchi Kane no Kami sama. Thank you. Haire. Chido Haire, 4 sincere claps along with officiant. Please bow your heads in prayer. 慎みてきがみ金剛大臣の御前に申さく。前より名越大祓感謝祭に取り兼ねて、初代湯川則和氏18年恩礼祭使え祭らんと申す。金光教大阪教会、千尋教会、難波教会、東京教会、水尾屋教会、サンフランシスコ屋教会、各教会初代教会長、歴代教会長はじめ、ワヒヤワ諸教会初代教会長の御所すがり申し、今日の御祭を使え祭らん申す。天地の大家神様、霊人様、礼捧げ、おなわん礼儀、翌5日に、老神祭る信仰者、もろもろの門のもみを正し、心新たにたかしめたまえと、半取り次ぎ、お因ねぎ祭りて、かしこみ申す。ひがみ金光大臣、I seek your toritsugi for today's service. Today, the half-year purification and for the half-year purification appreciation ceremony, as well as the 18th memorial service for the late Reverend Norikazu Yukawa. As someone without virtue, I seek to cling and receive the virtue of the founding and past head ministers of the Konkō Church of Osaka, Michihiro, Namba, Tokyo, Hamamizu, and San Francisco churches for today's service. Tenchi Kane no Kami, and to the Mikaba spirits, today The believers and I have come together with our hearts, bodies, and minds refreshed and ready for today's service. Thank you. You may raise your heads. If you look on the paper, you should have the amatsunorito. Amatsunorito. Hakaman no hara ni kamuzumarimasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite sume miyoya. Amizanagi no mikoto tsukushi no hyugan no tachibanan no odon no awagi haran ni misogi arai tamaudoki ni Aremaseru harai dono o kami tachi moro moro no magagoto tsumikegare o harai tamai kiyome tamae tomosu koto no yoshi yo wamatsu kami kunitsu kami yao yorozu no kami tachi tomo ni yamen no buchi Mano mimi buri tatete hikoshime seto kashigomi kashigomi momosu. Please open your prayer books to page 2 for the purification prayer. Purification prayer. Through the way of mediation, may our sincere apologies be acceptable to you, our divine parent. We acknowledge our mistakes and misunderstandings, arrogance and ignorance of your divine favor. We apologize for all our shortcomings and irreverences from past generations. Guide us to amend our way of living. Reflect your divine will, the pure, joyful, and loving heart, always one with you. Please bow your heads as to receive the sacrament of purification. 一度敬礼、please bow your heads in prayer. たまえ、清めたまえ、狼たち、今日の御祭りに打ち取らんの御心を払えたまえ、なさいませる御礼申し上げます。清めたまえ、払えたまえ、剣幕も賢き、ひがみ金光大臣天地金の大家神様の御前に、金光教サンディエゴ教会長、仕込みかし込みも毛作、仕込かれど、天地金の神橋、半未遠く天地にあまねく道渡らせたまい、の皆を生かし、ローズのこととのえせたまい、聞いても天地の間に住む人間をみんな神の愛しごと、で尽くしたまいてあるわ。運も賢きとの神になむ。On this cool yet beautiful June morning, just 2 days until the end of June, here at the Konkō Church of San Diego, on behalf of your beloved children, we have joined in one heart to share our love, sincerity, and appreciation to you for the blessings and favors and interventions we receive daily. Apology. We have come here today to offer up our prayers of apology for all the known and unknown irreverences we have committed. We apologize for the conscious and unconscious actions we have taken that may have hurt others, someone, the environment, animals, plants, etc. We apologize for our mental thoughts of negativity and evil that may possibly be festering in our hearts. We apologize for the times we have attacked people orally and or with our hearts, and seek your forgiveness as you taught us the greatest of all evils is when we kill with our hearts. We offer our hearts of apologies for the vague and blatant acts and or words that we may have said that hurt another person. We go on our knees to repent of any act that we may have done that may have been elitist, homophobic, racist, xenophobic, transphobic, etc. An act that hurt another person intentionally or unintentionally. Wabi mo shabimasu. We apologize for not always appreciating the blessings, grace, favors, and interventions bestowed upon us. As humans, and with all of our faults, we often forget about others. We forget about how much our bodies work hard for us in healing us. We forget how Mother Earth continues 24 hours, 7 days a week without rest to provide us with healing and nurturing. We apologize for the meguri of our ancestors, through our practice of daily faith. May their meguri as well as ours continue to melt away and cut the root of disease and suffering in our lives. Appreciation. We thank you for sending Konkō Daijin to us, who unknowingly started a way for us to find solace in our hearts through Toritsugi. And we offer prayers of appreciation for the successive Konkō-samas and their wives for their daily goyo. We offer prayers of appreciation to our ministers and ministers' assistants for their daily goyo. Thank you very much for the favors and interventions, grace and blessings you have showered upon each of the Ujiko, the San Diego Church, North San Diego County Gathering, the states of Arizona, Nevada, and Hawaii, as well as Estados Unidos Mexicanos. We thank you for the bodies that we have been given, the food we are allowed to eat and drink, and our normal bodily functions. Parent Kami, thank you for our jobs that you have bestowed upon those who are of us allowed to work. Thank you for the finances that we presently have, that we take advantage of on a daily basis. Thank you for the precious gift of life and our bodies that we forget about and abuse. Thank you for the material objects that we're allowed to obtain to help make our lives easier. Mahalo for the air that we breathe and the water that helps to sustain our health. Mahalo no for the gifts that you bestowed upon each and every one of us. Request. Parent Kami, we implore you to please not give up on us. Shower us with your love and grace that we may be reborn with refreshed hearts and outlooks on our lives and the world. That we take this opportunity in this world that we are living in to practice finding good in humanity, others, and ourselves. Kami-sama, please help us to not only keep unconditional love and compassion for all in our hearts, but also to reflect it in our daily lives, especially with what has been occurring in this world. You taught us, "天と地の間に住む人間はみんな神の氏子." Humans living between heaven and earth are all the beloved children of Kami. We know this teaching of unconditionality is a teaching of love. We know that this teaching of unconditionality is not of acceptance, but of embracing all people as brothers and sisters. We know that this teaching of unconditionality transcends race, sexual orientation, size, color of one's skin, gender identity, age, occupation, social status, etc. We know that this teaching of unconditionality is about love. And we know that through this teaching of unconditionality, you are asking us not to be accepting, but to be embracing of and loving, kind, and generous to all. I beg of you to please use each of us to make an impact, big or small, on our communities, cities, counties, and countries. Guide us in our hearts and our actions to be embracing, loving, kind, and generous. With the novel coronavirus, please help us to use this opportunity to reform our hearts and find compassion for our fellow brothers and sisters. Whether it be praying or volunteering, guide and protect us to do what is in our heart to contribute to making this world an even better place for humanity. Parent Kami, we ask for your hand of intervention with the current economic and world situation. We pray that it will improve to enable all of us to have happy and stable lives. Please provide us the faith to overcome current and future hardships in our lives, and the courage to contribute where we can to help you in creating a world of love, harmony, and prosperity. We pray for the victims of tragedies, natural and human-made disasters, to recuperate materially, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Please continue to watch over not just our congregation, but all peoples suffering from illness and disease. We pray for those suffering from mental and physical illnesses and disorders, dementia, cancer, COVID-19, heart disease, etc. Through your divine intervention and favor, grant these individuals a renewed life and guide them to becoming useful individuals to society. However, we also pray for those who are their caretakers, including doctors, nurses. Allow them to get time off for themselves. Allow them a moment of sanity and serenity, and give them the additional strength to continue loving and caring for their loved ones. As we continue working to achieve our goals in our individual lives, whether it be for our occupation, studies, relationships, and personal growth, help us to remember to enjoy the blessings and favors, grace and interventions we are receiving every day. And we ask for your protection and guidance with every step we take. Please give us the strength and courage to move forward in all aspects of our lives. And help us to live a Kami-centered life as we are allowed to live in your universe through your grace. Higami Konkō Daijin, Tenchi Kanu no Kami. Pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times that we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place Guide us with your grace to a place where we'll be safe. May ke aloha pumehana. Mahalo anui, our beloved Higami Konkō Daijin. Now, please raise your heads. Shō tomoni haire, 4 sincere claps with the head officiant. Please open your prayer books to page 23 for Shin Dokusanji. Oh, sorry, not 23. Page 29. Page 29 for Shin Dokusanji. Shin Dokusanji. Aogi matsure ga ten takaku. Aogi matsure ga ten takaku orogami. Matsure ga chi wa atsushi kami no megumi ni ikasaru rumi no saiwai zo arigataki. Waga ikigami no won 取り次ぎときもかくるときのなく天地の神の御守りとき近きの隔てなしか慈しみはよろずよにあまねくにちて果てしなくかんはからいわぐすしくて人の思いぞ及ばざる我ら今月今日やび祭りでひたすらに神の御影をたたえ祭らん神の比例よはおぎ祭らんPrayer for the ending of the novel coronavirus pandemic. This should be also in the Google Drive. Hopefully you were able to download it. If not, if you have today's service order, you can click on the link and it'll take you to the prayer. Prayer for the ending of the novel coronavirus pandemic. ひがみ金光大臣様天地金の神様ひがみ金光大臣様天地金の神様 We offer our hearts of appreciation for your love and virtue as we are allowed to live in this very moment. Currently, the pandemic is rapidly spreading throughout the world. The novel coronavirus pandemic is causing much concern and raising anxieties amongst people and nations. Thus, we offer our hearts and prayers to you to end this pandemic as soon as possible. Sadly, there are those who have passed away because of this virus, and we put our hands together to pray for their spirit's peace and salvation. We also pray for those who are infected by the virus to quickly heal and recuperate, in order that they may continue to contribute to society and the world. We pray for political, economical, and educational reform, so that all the anxieties and distrust we have been harboring will dissipate, and we will be blessed with societal order. For those who are suffering in the midst of this pandemic, please allow their faiths to be resurrected and their livelihoods be restored. Thus, now more than ever, we commit to reviving our hearts of appreciation, having a heart of kami, and praying for and guiding others. May we all be awakened to your truth that a faith that helps others helps ourselves. Use us to help you in this crusade to end this pandemic and bring peace to this world. It is our sincere prayer that the people of the world will not only have peace of mind, but also live happily, safely, and healthily. ひがみ金光大臣様、天地金の神様。ひがみ金光大臣様、天地金の神様。指導拝礼 4 sincere claps along with officiant. Enza, transfer the Mitama altar. At this time, we'll move over to the Mitama altar to begin Reverend Norikazu Yukawa's 18th year memorial. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps along with officiant. Chido Keide, please bow your heads in prayer. Before this altar, I call upon the following spirits to join us for the 18th memorial of the late Reverend Norikazu Yukawa. Konkō San Francisco Kyokai Sandai Kyokai Cho, third head minister of the Konkō Church of San Francisco. Matsui Fumio Ushino Mitama no Kami, Sandai Kyokai Cho Fujin, the third head minister's wife of the Konkō Church of San Francisco. Matsui Fumiko Hime no Mitama no Kami, Konkō Kyo Tamamizu Kyokai Shodai, founding minister of the Konkō Church of Tamamizu. Yukawa Yasutaro Miyushi Michiteru Mihashira Ushi no Mitama no Kami, Shodai Fujin, founding minister's wife. Yukawa Hideoki Tadashi Michiteru Hime no Mitama no Kami, Tamamizu Kyokai Nidai Kyokai Cho, second head minister of the Konkō Church of Tamamizu. Yukawa Shigeru Ushi no Mitama no Kami, Nidai Fujin, second head minister's wife. Yukawa Tomio Hime no Mitama no Kami, Tamamizu Kyokai Sandai Kyokai Cho, third head minister of the Konkō Church of Tamamizu. 川安尾牛の御霊の神、三代夫人、third head minister's wife、湯川真理子姫の御霊の神、金光教銀座教会初代、founding minister of the Konkō Church of Ginza、川誠一牛の御霊の神、初代夫人、founding minister's wife、湯川津也姫の御霊の神、銀座教会二代教会長、second head minister of the Konkō Church of Ginza、湯川信直牛の御霊の神、川安部の御霊の神、川里の御霊の神、湯川若之助の御霊の神、湯川真澄の御霊の神、川太郎の御霊の神、川直政の御霊の神、東脇でごご霊書に祝い祭る川の家、五位の家、牧野の家、橋の家、白石の家、ハンの家、ペティッツの家、ブスケの家、ビベンズの家、中尾の家、多田の家、渋谷の家、真岡家の全統通親の御霊を、今日の湯川のりかずしの18年御礼祭にお呼び出し申し上げて祭ります。To those called upon this morning, I ask that you please join us during this service of appreciation for your family member, the late Reverend Norikazu Yukawa. 今日の湯川のりかずしの18年恩礼祭を使え祭らんと、松井文牛の御霊の神、川安太郎に牛道照に柱牛の御霊の神、湯川茂牛の御霊の神、湯川勲牛の御霊の神、湯川誠一牛の御霊の神の御徳をすがり申し上げて祭ります。Now, please raise your heads.湯川馬市道照見柱牛廃止仙台王先生廃止。This will be, if you click on the link, it'll take you to the prayer. Unfortunately, we only have it in Japanese at this time. 哀れあおぐもしたわしきゆかわの牛はや。哀れあおぐもしたわしきゆかわの牛はや。哀れしのぶも懐かしきうましみちてるみはしら牛はや。若の浦和の清き深きに心持ちて、神よい甘い道を尊び、何はへの広き遠き身思い持ちて、世を我に人を救いて、道の御光よあんまかがし、教えの恵みを国かがし、人の世のもとつ道よ極め尽くし、神と人と一つなることわりよ、まさやかに教えまつぶさに、示したまいし、大き高きみさを尊み、祭りやび祭らくを、めぐしときこしはしとみそなわして、 道の行く手をは松日の都に守り、教えの子らが行く末を、照る月のや広に恵み、たまえとかしこみも申す。Please open your prayer books to page 12 for the Mitama prayer. Mitama prayer. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you are given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. Through the mysterious workings of Kami, you entered the Konkō faith. You walked the way of Konkō Daijin, respecting the will of the divine parent. You amassed great merit through your faith, to take into the world beyond and leave to your descendants. Our gratitude is boundless for your loving favors. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. So, Kate, please bow your heads in prayer. Havare ao kumo shita shiki, oya no hantai o shiki, Sandego no chi ni michi o hirakare, Kigami Konkō Daijin no kantori tsugi no waza o kono chi de tsutame, 次々と難儀なう事ことが参りき、天地の大家神様の御光、きれいが広く高く輝き、本校教サンディエゴ教会初代教会長、野利和氏の御霊の神の御見舞いに、本校教玉水親教会長、川正夫親先生の代わりで、本校教三礼語教会長、住山井無作。Dear Reverend Norikazu Yukawa, with one heart, with our hearts as one, we have come to honor, appreciate, and celebrate your life. We've come to your life. Are your devoted believers and ministers and family members. Today, we remember you as one of the foundations of Konkō Daijin's life here in San Diego. However, it is without you that there would be no San Diego church. You were born the fifth and last child of the late Reverends Shigeru and Komyo Yukawa on January 2nd, 1946. You were raised a typical bochan. However, you were very respectful of your family and faith. You graduated from Kwansei Gakuin University's Law Department. Your nephew, Reverend Masao Yukawa, shared that your parents bought you a red convertible which you drove from Tamamizu to college on a daily basis. However, something stirred within you after college as you decided to devote yourself to being of service to Tenchi Kane no Kami. You entered the Konkō Daijin seminary and was ordained a minister on June 10, 1970. You trained at the Konkō Church of Tamamizu under the tutelage of your father. Then in 1973, you embarked on a journey to the United States, where you would end up at Southern Methodist University School of Divinity. You graduated from SMU with your master's degree. It was here where you would meet and fall in love with the beautiful Shayla Han. The two of you would marry on October 25th, 1975. It was at this point your desire to spread the word and save the suffering here in the United States became so strong that you followed your heart even at the opposition of your father. As your father cut relations with you, Reverend Fumio Matsui would take you into his arms and nurture you like his own son, helping you to learn more about American society, praying for you to become the best minister you could be, and guiding you to the day your desire would come to fruition. Matsui Sensei became your father here in the United States. Plus, on February 10, 1976, you would transfer to the Konkō Church of San Francisco. Even after the closing of the Konkō Mission of Dallas, the flame that was in your heart never extinguished. You continued to receive spiritual nourishment and love from Reverend Matsui and his wife, Fumiko Sensei. You realized in your own words, if I am to spread this way of faith here in American society, I must first become American. I must work and live in this society. By doing this, I will truly understand the pain and suffering people in America experience. With this new mindset, you set your mind out. You set out to begin your real shugyo, training, here in the United States. On April 12, 1982, you would transfer back to the Konkō Church of Tamamizu and move to Southern California where you found work. You started your missionary efforts with a simple gathering of members in San Diego. Through your devoted efforts, in 1984, you received official permission from our spiritual patriarch, Konkō-sama, the late Reverend Kagami Taru Konkō, to open the Konkō Mission of San Diego. At that time, you were able to share the teachings of Konkō Daijin to 3 families of Kyoto status, 10 families of Shinto status, and 13 individuals of Kyushinja status. Thus, a church would be built. On January 12, 1987, the San Diego Church received its non-profit organization status from the state of California. Then on March 31st, 1987, the mission would be elevated to church status by Konkō-sama. Yukawa Sensei, I truly believe that when your father cut ties with you in the 70s, that was a test to determine how serious you were about your desire. Upon receiving permission to become a church, your father rekindled the relationship with you and celebrated the birth of the San Diego Church by bringing a large group of believers from Tamamizu, Ginza, Takasu, and other churches in Japan to San Diego. You passed your dear father's test. Dear Yukawa Sensei, on Tuesday, May 23rd, 2017, in a revelation you shared with me, I made a mistake while alive by not honoring the San Francisco Church as much as I should have. Matsui Sensei was an important part of the San Diego Church. San Diego, much like Whittier, will have 2 parent churches, San Francisco and Tamamizu. The parent that gave San Diego life and the parent that gave me the strength and faith to share Konkō Daijin's teachings. Please do not forget this. With your request in mind, it is my resolve to never forget both the Tamamizu and San Francisco churches. It is Matsui Sensei who nurtured you here during the time of training between you and your father. It is Matsui Sensei who took you into the San Francisco church where you transferred to for a brief period of time. However, it is your parents that gave birth to you, and it is your grandfather whose faith that inspired you to come to the United States. It is my solemn promise to keep, honor, and act upon your request. Due to the arcane KCNA rules, the process for Reverend Takahashi to become the head minister was very convoluted and slow. However, through Kami-sama and your workings, Todd has a job teaching at Eastlake High School and a wonderful room in Spring Valley. And on March 9, 2020, was appointed by Kyoshu Konkō-sama, the Reverend Heiki Konkō, to become the third head minister of the Konkō Church of San Diego. At present, Todd's teaching position is in limbo, and we ask for both Kami's and your workings and interventions to restore it either to its 80% or 100% position. Please know that Todd has been saving for down payment for a new church/house. And I am 150% sure that the believers nor Todd would mind if you won the lottery as well. So please feel free to help with that at any time. Norikazu Sensei, as you have already borne witness to, we are living in such unprecedented times, from a pandemic to racial tension. You yourself experienced this type of hate with the egging of the church after the opening ceremony for the San Diego Church. It is our prayer that you will please watch over all the Ujiko living in San Diego, Los Angeles counties, the states of Arizona, Hawaii, Nevada, and Texas, as well as Estados Unidos Mexicanos. Guide those who are suffering, whether it be physical, psychological, mental, or spiritual pain to Ukekkai. And as your uncle, the late Reverend Seiichi Yukawa, prayed, help us to be useful into bringing to fruition a world of true peace and happiness. Dear Norikazu Sensei, you have 3 beautiful children, Kenji, Mari, and Sean. As you already know, Kenji married the gorgeous Tara Petit and has 2 beautiful children, Jasper Kenzo and Jacob Kento. Your daughter, Mari, is the program coordinator at the University of Alabama, Birmingham School of Medicine. Last year, Sean was the director of special events for Auburn for Water and is either continuing or graduated from the University of Alabama. Please continue to watch over them. Guide them to do what is good, virtuous, and right. Play with your grandchildren and give them the opportunity to know you. Dear Reverend Yukawa, through your struggles, you clung to your faith in Ikigami Konkō Daijin Tenchi Kanokami, truly accepting and living the heavenly work you were given here in the United States. You lived and taught the teaching your grandfather left behind. Let us practice a sincere and true faith and receive Kami's true favor. Thank you very much for watching over and praying, guiding and protecting, and listening to us and working for us. We ask that your Spirit continues to watch over the members and ministers of the San Diego Church, the North County Gathering. Please guide those individuals in Mitama who are suffering to Lukekkai. Also, we, the San Diego Hana, place our faith in Kami-sama and you to help rebuild this church you established to the glory it once was and beyond. Spees no ie ga San Diego no go shinzen go reizen o omamori koto o omamori tamai. Ashi mitama ni noru subete no San Diego no ujiko no negai yo kawa nagara ni mamori saki wa e tamae to mosu. Fukuko shite wa ayo ni michi no uchi to no hitobito tsuki senu are o uke tamaite nochi. Iwari naru hia ni kuri tatashi tamatsuru mani mani. Kokoro yasura ni de tachimashite. Ama kumo no sogi e haruka ni kanagari agarimasu to mosu. Much appreciation, sincerity, love. I end this prayer. Me ke aloha kumehana. Reverend Norikazu Yukawa. Now, please raise your heads. 人と共に入れ。Four sincere claps along with the head officiant. Please open your prayer books to page 36 for Sosen Sanji. Sosen Sanji. Yoyon no uya wa Waga ien no kami waga kami to kokoro tsukushite itsuki matsuranna kokoro tsukushite itsuki matsurannaときみよやんの神たちよ海のこのために家の柱を沈めたてたまい初子のために世のなりわいよ守り助けたまい隠りよの見えぬ境にましませどもみつくしみのみ心は写しよに変わらせたまわず先見たまのまさきく先はえたまいくしみたまのくしみにめぐみたまいて志は薪の柱の動きなくなりはゆは結ぶ難面のゆるびなく真心清らんに励みずとめしめたまいゆからやあらやわらぎやぎてひにけんにうらやすく楽しましめたまいついにゆつしよんのことを得て神の御門に参らん時には必ずしも深えとりたまいにつくしみよこぬらしめたまわんものと神の実りの絶えなるを足し込みかたじけなみみおやんの恵みのおぼろげならぬを嬉しみ喜び申すことを見心もつづやかにきこしめしたまいと申す花くしびのみおやのみたま花くしびのみおやのみたま花ととのみおやの神花ととのみおやの神 自動拝礼 4 sincere claps along with the officiant. Haide. Please open your prayer books to page 6 for the recitation of the Tenchi Gakitsuke. Recitation of Tenchi Gakitsuke. Kigami Konkō Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami Isshin ni Negae Kage wa waga kokoro ni ari Kongetsu konnichi de tanome. Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within. Hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever. On this very day, pray. Haide. Let me make one quick adjustment before I get told, oh, I can see your head. There we go. I hope this is better. Good morning, and thank you for attending today's service for Kami-sama, our half-year purification and appreciation service, and as well as the service 18th year memorial for Reverend Norikazu Yukawa. I can't believe it's already half a year. It's kind of crazy. Today actually officially makes 1 year and a half for me being here in San Diego. A year and a half being here in San Diego. I can't, it's hard to kind of believe that I've been here for a year and a half, and I still can't find my way around certain streets. But today is an opportunity to take this opportunity to really reflect on our lives and our faith. If what's going on in this world hasn't made us reflect on our lives and our faith, hopefully today's service will give us an opportunity to really think about, hey, what's going on in our hearts? What's going on in this world? How am I truly being grateful for the blessings that I have and I've been receiving to this day and to this time? But today, aside from our half-year service, though, of appreciation and purification, when we talk about purification, we're really talking about cleansing our heart and apologizing for that we think in our minds we've done nothing wrong, and yet maybe to other people, maybe to Kami-sama, maybe to our ancestors, we have. I'm going to be the first to admit, I will be the first to admit, my name is Todd Takahashi, and I'm not perfect. I know I make errors. I know that I screw up. I know that there are times I'm lazy. I know that there are times that I forget things. I know that there's times that I don't do things properly, or I forget about things. And yet, this is a time just to get it out of our chest and also to forgive ourselves. Purification doesn't just mean to apologize for the knowing and unknowing, the conscious, the unconscious, but it also means it's a time for forgiving ourselves for things that we've been holding on to. So time to give it away, give it up to Kami-sama, and just say, please help me to move on. From this point on, let's continue to receive and better ourselves. But today, we have Reverend Yukawa's 18th memorial. It's hard to believe it was 18 years. It's been 18 years since his passing. And I think 18 years since his passing. And I've done his service 3 times. One during his, if I'm correct, it's his 15th year memorial. Then I did it for his 17th and his 18th, 3 times. And I've shared with people before, I really don't know who Yukawa Sensei is. I really don't know. Not that I don't know who he is. I know exactly who he is, but I don't have a very close, intimate, personal relationship with him. We've never talked about spirituality before. I tried to count and recall how many times I visited here. And so last night, I really reflected, and I realized I came here once for a regional sermon, not to this church, but to the Grayling Drive Church. I went once for a regional seminar. That's one. I came once, I brought a minister from Japan, Reverend Mitsuo Ishimatsu, and his aunt. We came all the way down to San Diego, to the San Diego church. That was twice. But the third time I came to San Diego was from some kind of big service that was at a hotel. And that was 3 times. And I never really had close interactions with Yukawa Sensei. I never talked to him. I think the closest I ever got to, there's 2 episodes where I was close. Well, not close, but I can remember him clearly. One was at an FTI. I was 17 years old. 17 years old. It was the FTI, Faith Training Institute, long time ago. And we were at Lake Tahoe, if I'm correct. And he was making something. He made an onigiri, and he based it, put shoyu on it, he popped it into an oven. I asked him, Sensei, what are you doing? And he said, oh, I'm making yaki onigiri. And I said, what is that? I don't know what a yaki onigiri is. And he said, you've never had a yaki onigiri before? I said, no, I've never had a yaki onigiri before. So the onigiri that he popped into the oven, after it was ready, he took it out, wrapped it into a nori, seaweed, and they gave it to me. And it was so delicious. And that was kind of one of those few interactions that I had with Yukawa Sensei. Also, literally before his passing, I think this was in April, I cannot recall when, March or April, I had taken students to Japan. I was teaching in Northern California at Monte Vista High School, and I'd taken students to Japan, and they were with their homestay families in Kurashiki, and so I decided to go to Gohonbu for Orei Sanpai, to a pilgrimage of appreciation. And as I left the main worship hall, I was coming down the central stairs, and I was walking down, someone shouted my name, hey, Todd. And Japanese are not able to say my name properly. Well, the Japanese in Japan don't know how to say my name properly. And so I looked up because someone said my name properly. And I'm like, who's saying that? I looked and I saw Yukawa Sensei, and he says, hey, what are you doing here? I said, oh, I brought students. I shared with them what was going on. I said, what are you doing here? And at that time, it didn't make any sense to me at all. But he said to me, oh, I'm here on my last pilgrimage. And I didn't understand what that meant. It didn't hit me until a couple months later when I heard of his passing. And that was sort of a huge shock for me. I think I wasn't prepared for that. I truly don't. I don't believe I was prepared for that. So I really don't know. And I always sometimes I ask myself, I don't ask myself so often, but why was I called here? Why did you call me here? I don't know. However, a year and a half ago, before making the hour-and-a-half drive here, the original game plan was I was going to be staying at Whittier Rose Hills Church and commuting back and forth from Whittier to San Diego to do services. That was the original game plan. And out of the blue, one day, Reverend Kyoshi Igawa said, what are you doing today? And I said, well, I was going to rent a car today. And he said, oh, you know what? Today I'm just going to drop you off at San Diego Church. I'm like, what? Whoa, the game plan just changed. And poor Vivian Spies and her family got the shock of, I'm sure it's the shock of their lives at that. And so they were rushing to get things ready for me, cleaning a room for me, taking care of all of that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry. Not realizing that there was something happening. Something was happening. some kind of working was happening. And I believe that if we stuck to the original game plan, I don't think I would be here in San Diego at this moment. I don't. I truly believe that Kami-sama and Yukawa Sensei worked in a way where I was being brought here. I was forced to come here. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. However, what was interesting though was before coming here, literally like an hour before we were supposed to leave, Reverend Wakiko Igawa, right now she's forgetting a lot of different things, and in a moment of clarity, in a moment of true clarity, she was sitting down at the kitchen table at the Whittier Church. She grabbed my, I don't know what this is called. Sorry, but whatever this is called. She grabbed this and she said, "Sit down. Todd Sensei, I have to talk to you." I'm like, ooh, what's going on? And in all honesty, there's sort of a rift between our parent church, Tamamizu, and San Diego. And there's all this conversation in the background of all these things. And Wakiko Sensei doesn't know any of these things. She has no clue what's going on. So in this moment of clarity, where she's talking to me, she said to me, "Todd Sensei, you have to honor and remember the foundation, your foundations. You have to." She went on to say, and she did not know this. I never shared this with her. Nobody has shared this with her. She then said, San Diego has 2 parent churches. However, you have to, and I don't know how to translate this into English very well, but in Japanese she said, "Tamamizu Kyokai wo waga oya kyokai toshite ogami nasai." So I'm going to simply translate it as, you must honor, you must value the Konkō Church of Tamamizu. If not, Reverend Yukawa, referring to Norikazu Sensei's Mitama, will not be happy. He cannot be saved. He will not be working. He cannot work for you. If you do that, if you honor the Tamamizu Church, Yukawa Sensei will be happy and he will work really hard for you. And I'm translating, kind of doing a literal translation in my mind of everything that she said to me. And then out of the blue, boom, things changed. Out of the blue, she just said, to honor your ancestors, and that was it. Boom, not honor your ancestors, I'm sorry. Please honor the Tamamizu Church so that Yukawa Sensei can be happy. There's more to what she said, and then out of the blue, after she said what she said, she went back to her old self. That clarity just disappeared. As if for that brief moment of time, Kami-sama was speaking through her directly to me. And I was truly touched. I was touched, and yet troubled by her message. You see, in Konkō Kyo, some churches believe this, some churches don't. Some dioceses believe this, some dioceses don't. Here in KC, I don't know, it's kind of up in the air. But we have a kind of a parent-child relationship, and where this parent, where this church has a parent. And so I come from Hawaii, and my church is the Konkō Mission of Honolulu. And we have the Honolulu church is here, and our parent church is the Konkō Church of Amagi in Fukuoka. And above that is the Konkō Church of Kokura, and then there's headquarters. So here's my parent church, here's my grandparent church, and headquarters would be my great-grandparent church. And I was troubled. This kind of troubled me because, one, I really don't know. I mean, everybody in Konkō Kyo knows about the Tamamizu Church. Everybody. Oh, in Japan they do. I mean, I don't think there's a minister that does, when you say the name Tamamizu, they don't know it. But in terms of knowing it, really knowing it, I don't know. And I truly struggled with that. That was one of my biggest struggles. Secondly, one of my other struggles was, how am I supposed to establish this relationship? In fact, it was Reverend Hashimoto who said, "Todd, I want you to reestablish relationships with the Tamamizu Church." Like, how am I supposed to do that? I don't even know Reverend Masao Yukawa. Reverend Masao Yukawa is Norikazu Sensei's nephew. Reverend Masao Yukawa is the head minister of the Tamamizu Church. I don't even know this guy. How am I supposed to do that? And I struggled with this. And one of the reasons why I struggled with this is because I've always believed in honoring my foundations, and it's one of the reasons why if you receive the church newsletter, it's called Honoring and Revering Our Foundations, the section that deals with where I talk about spiritual talk. And I felt like I was turning my back on my parent church. I thought I was stabbing them in the back by going somewhere else, and it troubled me so much. And for about a year, a little over a year, this had been bothering me. And so finally, sometime in March, during this pandemic and everything, I finally spoke with a really wonderful ministerial friend, the Reverend Matsuoka of the Konkō Mission of Wahiwa, and I spoke with her, and she shared with me. I told her what was in my heart, and I said, I'm so having trouble with this because I don't know how to do this. And at first, I did try, but it didn't seem sincere. It didn't seem like it was coming from my heart when I was trying to do toritsugi with Masao Sensei. And so I quit. I stopped. Later, so when I spoke to her, I shared with her what was in my heart, and she said, Todd Sensei, stop. You are in the same situation that Konkō Daijin found himself in. You and Konkō Daijin always wanted to revere your foundations, something that's so important to you. But what if you thought of yourself thought of your situation as similar to Konkō Daijin, where Konkō Daijin went from the Kandori family to the Akazawa family. He was adopted into that family. And yet, even though he was adopted into this family, he would check on his original family. He would check on the Kandori family to make sure his parents were okay. There's an episode in the founder's history where his younger brother, and this one I have a field day with this, and this is for I'll go in one day. I'll talk about this more, but his younger brother gets possessed and says, "Oh, you have to build me another house." And I think that was like, this guy is a little crazy. He's using this to get his brother to build a house. However, Konkō Daijin did that. He built his younger brother a brand new house. But that's just my take. That's just my interpretation. But that's the kind of heart that Konkō Daijin had. He wanted to revere his ancestors. He wanted to revere his roots. His roots were there at the Kandori home, and also care for his parents, his new adopted parents as well. After Edna Sensei shared that with me, I felt like this huge weight off my shoulders. But the problem was, how do I create such a relationship? So, for a while, somehow, I don't know how I got this, but I received the Tamamizu Church's 100th anniversary calendar. And it has this beautiful sayings and pictures on it. And I started reading it every day, and I told myself, oh, wow, what a waste for me just to read it. Why don't I share this with the world? I started sharing. So those of you who are connected to the San Diego Church's Facebook page and Instagram pages, you've seen the teachings, translated teachings. And sometimes, it's not always all the time I'm putting them up. Sometimes I'm really busy. And at one point, I stopped completely. Because I realized, oh my gosh, I never asked permission to be able to do this. So I need to ask permission. And so what I did was I sent an otodoke. I did toritsugi with Reverend Masao Yukawa. I sent him a toritsugi a letter with the offering, and I sent it to him. But this was during the time when Japan had just shut down all of its travel abroad. And so I wasn't sure, is he gonna get the letter? Is he gonna get all this? I was very skeptical. So I faxed him the same otodoke, the same toritsugi. I said, I'm so sorry to fax it. I don't know if you're gonna get it or not. And I was so touched. About a week later, I was so touched by the response I got. It was one of the most heartwarming, kindness, such a generous response from Masao Sensei. And he said, whatever I have, you use. Whatever you've been given, you use. You just use it. And so that's what we did. That's what I've done. I've slowly started to do that. In my response to him, I said, before I upload it, I will send it to you. I will send the translation to you, and then I will upload it to Facebook and Instagram. And what happened next became even more beautiful because it helps me to learn more about who this man that Reverend Norikazu Yukawa, our founding minister, looked up to. Masao Sensei would begin sending me explanations of each of the teachings. And they were easy to understand, easy to read. I said, wow, this just opens up a completely different world. From my understanding to a bigger understanding. And I truly, even now, we continue this back and forth when I'm able to. And I know he's very busy at the moment, but it's something I truly, truly do look forward to. However, I solely believe that this relationship is possible. And I can now understand why the ministers in Hawaii truly honor this parent-child relationship. At first I couldn't understand it. Never made sense to me. Kind of made sense to me, not fully. But it was here that it made sense, not here. And now with this interaction with Yukawa Sensei, it's beginning to make sense here. Much more here. So I kind of digress. So coming here, this is one of the reasons why in today's service for Yukawa Sensei, Norikazu Sensei, I crafted each of the prayers in a certain way. We had certain prayers done because this is truly what I believed he would have wanted. I truly believe that this would have made him happy in my heart. I crafted, unlike any other last year when we held his service, or 2 years ago we had a service, I wanted to craft it especially for him. That was very important. So why bother? A minister here in California once told me, Todd Sensei, you don't have to honor Yukawa Sensei anymore. His grave is no longer there. His body is no longer here. It's in Japan. You don't have to honor. You can just cut ties with Tamiya's. You can cut ties with everybody. Just start your own thing. And that didn't sit well with me. That did not sit well with me. I was so disturbed by that. Truly disturbed by that. Because my faith was one of truly honoring our foundation, always trying to honor the foundation. It was something I grew up with, it's something my parents had taught me, something Reverend Kodama had taught me, something my family had truly believed in, something that Reverend Wakiko Igawa, my spiritual mentor, had believed in, and taught me and showed me through through action, not just words. So I was troubled by that. However, I decided to forget that. I was going to use what that minister says, and say, well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And as I kept honoring, today we did, for the first time here as a ohana, we offered the prayer to Reverend Yukawa's, Norikazu Sensei's grandfather, the Yukawa Daijin, Yukawa Yasutaro Michiteru Mihashira Ushi Haishi. That particular prayer is to Norikazu Sensei's grandfather. It's the first time that we offered that. And I have been doing that in my daily prayers. I've been giving it in my daily prayers. It was something that's very important to me to give on a daily basis. Well, June is a very important month. It's a very interesting one. Because for a long time, I have been searching for the members of this church, wanting to let them know, hey, we're here, we're back, we're alive. We've never been gone. I've been searching for them, and I was stuck on a whole bunch of them, as if there was a stop placed on them. Like I was not allowed to look them up. No matter what I did, no matter what I researched, nothing would pop up. This month, I was able to find all of those. There's a list of believers. I was able to find all of them, whether it be what cemetery they're buried in, or their home addresses. I was able to find all of them. I believe that it's because I honored this foundation that I think Yukawa Sensei had to test me. I think Yukawa Sensei was testing me for this year and a half to see could I honor the foundations of this church. The founder talked about after getting off of a stump of a tree, we pay appreciation to that stump. And people look at it from such a superficial level, that particular teaching from a very superficial level, because they think, it's about appreciating just the stump. No, absolutely not. For that stump to be there, they had to have roots. For those roots to be there, a seed had to be planted. That seed had grown the roots, and then the tree trunk, and the tree had to grow. It had to be planted in soil. It had to be watered. It had to have sunlight. And then someone cut that tree down, so there's a stump. So someone had to cut that tree, so there was a stump. That teaching is not just about, thank you, but to look past, not just the superficial, to go into the depths and see the interconnectedness, the aiyo kakyo, the interconnectedness of life. This church, if we look at that stump, we say thank you just for this church, but then if I listen to that minister who said, forget about Yukawa Sensei, don't honor him, just cancel him out, I believe I would be gone, I would not be here anymore. I believe because I looked beyond that, and I made every effort, and the effort became one of being superficial to one of sincerity. Things started to happen for me. That block was lifted, and I was able to find every single one of these people. And now when I do Ohakamairi, which is scary because it's going to be even longer, because there's a whole bunch of graves I'm going to have to go. I will be going to. I truly believe that Yukawa Sensei was testing me. I looked beyond the superficial, and I saw the depth. I saw the interconnectedness. Without Yukawa Sensei, there would be no San Diego Church. Without the Tamamizu Church, there would be no Yukawa Sensei. Without Reverend Fumio Matsui, there would be, I did not think that Yukawa Sensei would have had the nurturing he needed to allow his dream to come to fruition. And so I thank all of you, who are here today. Regardless if you knew Yukawa Sensei or not. If you didn't know him, you're in the same boat as I am. Because we need to honor our roots. We need to honor our foundation. And that is so important. When we do that, we skip a step. When we do that, we hurt other people. When we do that, I don't think, as Wakiko Sensei shared with me, we cannot receive kage or favors and interventions. We do that, those who came before us will not work for us. And I truly believe that Yukawa Sensei is truly working, because every time I'm telling him, please, I need your help on this. I don't have to, I need you to pray, because I'm busy doing this. You do prayer service. Believe me, I have a conversation with him practically every day. He comes with me when I do Ohakamairi or I go to the various grave sites. So today, I ask you to please use this as an opportunity to refresh your hearts, to remember your foundation, where you're from, your roots, and to honor them as well. I think, today is a wonderful combination in honoring, in remembering, forgiving, purifying, and appreciating, along with Yukawa Sensei's service of remembering and honoring, that we bring the two together. I think it's a perfect match for the two to be together. And I ask you to please, again, reflect on your life, reflect on your blessings and favors that you've received. Thank you. Before I end, I would actually like to say a few thank yous. First of all, I would like to thank Reverend Masao Yukawa for helping me with a lot of information that I did not know about, Reverend Norikazu Yukawa. I would also like to thank Reverend Obu. I can't remember his first name, but Reverend Obu from the church division at Konkō headquarters for helping me with various documents to help me learn more about the San Diego Church. I would also like to thank Reverend Wakiko Igawa, for guiding me appropriately, allowing Kami-sama to use you to speak to me. Kenji-kun, I want to thank Kenji Yukawa for all the pictures that you saw at the very beginning. I'm going to actually make a video of that and upload it so all of you will be able to see that. And then finally, Reverend Tamie Alice, I call her Alice, Imaoka. She is my seminary classmate, and she is the one who wrote that song, Michi Shirue. And she wrote it, and she's allowed me, she wrote it, she sang it, and she played the piano while her son, Hideki, played the violin. And they're allowing us to use their music. They've allowed me to use their son's music as well as for our services. So I want to thank Reverend Imaoka of the Nakatachuri Church for everything. And I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's service as well. Mahalo. Oh, and if you haven't done so, do the Survey Monkey so I can write your name in the Gokinencho as well. Mahalo.